Hello everyone, I'm Morgan, and today I wanted to talk to you about 5 books I've read recently. I'm kind of overdue about doing this, but that's okay, it's never too late, so let's just get into it. As usual, I'm going to go from the one I like the least to the one I like the most. So the one I like the least is Beyond Kidding by Lynda Clark. I read this on ebook, I got it from NetGalley as an ARC, and I was really disappointed by it. The premise sounded really good. I talked about it in my Spookathon TBR, and it's about this man who goes on an interview and pretends to have a kid, but then the police actually finds this kid that he imagined because he photoshopped a picture of what his kid could have looked like, and they found a kid that was just like it. And so there's a huge mystery, like who is this kid, where does he come from, and all that. And the premise is cool, but the actual book lacked so many things. The writing was not good in any way whatsoever. Not only that, but it was quite repetitive. There was not much happening. Thank God the book is quite short, so I did finish it. But besides that, there was nothing that interesting. There was also a lot of swearing, which is something I don't really understand in books. It's not that I don't swear in real life, I do, but I just don't see the point in books. So, I don't know, it was a huge letdown, and there's nothing good about this book, honestly. It's just not the worst book, so I did give it 2 stars instead of 1. But yeah, not the best book. Second is The Hobbit by J.R. Tolkien, and this one I think is good for what it is, and that is a book that was written to tell your children at night, but it wasn't what I expected from it. I guess I wanted more of an adult book like The Lord of the Rings. I still have yet to reread that series, but I want to, and I hadn't read that one before, so I wanted to do that, and I have. I listened to the audiobook, but I also read the physical copy, as I have a few pictures in it and stuff, so it was really cool to follow with that. But besides that, I said it just wasn't enough for me. There's not a lot going on, though again the book is short, so I just wanted to go a bit faster and for more things to happen because I was a bit bored at times. Though I do like this world, and I think it's quite wholesome and beautiful, and I like the descriptions. Though I know some people don't like those in Tolkien's writing because he does maybe too much of them, but I quite enjoy them. And the characters are really cute, and the world I really enjoy. So, like, not a bad book, but just not what I wanted from it. The third book I want to talk about today is Mooncalled. This is the first book in the Mercy Thompson series, and this was a reread for me. I used to read these when I was, I don't know, like 10, 13, something like that. I really like that series. It's an urban fantasy series with werewolves, vampires, and other stuff, and our main character, Mercy Thompson, can change into a coyote. She is what is called a walker, and she's immune to magic and some stuff. Like, she doesn't really know all of her powers, and I think I remember that we discover more in the later books, but the first one is just her having to fight, well, not fight, but there's a story with the werewolves. She was raised by a werewolf who is the one directing the pack in all of the US, and she lives very close to an alpha in her city now, near Seattle. And they also started having a relationship, kind of, and there are many things happening. It's just a really nice series to read. It's very action-packed, and I love Mercy Thompson. She's just a great character to read from. And yeah, I don't know, it's really fun and I like it. And I just finished the second book as well, and I'm loving my reread and I can't wait to see what happens next. The first book I want to talk about is The Long Walk by Stephen King, or Frederick Backman as he wrote them. This book was really good. I thought it's about 100 young men who are chosen every year to participate in the Long Walk. So basically, the thing is you have to either walk or die, and if you are the last one still walking, then you gain a lot of money. And the whole thing is televised, so you also become a celebrity. There are a lot of good reasons, I guess, to participate, but also if you do not finish it, you are shot immediately. Even if you you have to keep a certain pace at all times, otherwise you get a warning, and if you have more than 3 warnings, you get shot. So it's very, very intense, and we follow Garati in this, who is one of the participants, and it's really intense and dark, and I really enjoyed it. It was kind of horrific in parts, as Stephen King's books usually are, and it's also very cynical, which is particular to his Backman's books. So I really enjoyed that, and yeah, it's not an enjoyable read, I would say, exactly, but it's really gripping, and I would recommend it. And the last book I have to talk about is The Library Book by Susan Orlean. I read this as an audiobook, and it is read by the author, I remember. And I really enjoy this one. It's a nonfiction book that talks about this fire that happened in the Los Angeles Public Library in the 80s, I think it was. And so it's about the search for the person who did it, because it was believed from the beginning that it had been an act, it wasn't an accident, that fire. But also, it's just, this book talks about the history of libraries, and I was happily surprised by that. It was very interesting, and I kind of wish I had taken notes, because there were so many informations, and I was really enjoying that. I like knowing things, and it just talked about, the history of libraries, how they came to be, and how women became a part of libraries little by little. Although now they're, like most librarians are women, it didn't always used to be the case, and there were just so many things that were really interesting, and yeah, it was just a great book. I really enjoyed reading it, and I think I would reread it just to get, again, more information out of it, because there's so much to get out. And it was also about the search for the man who did it, though they're still not sure to this day if he actually did, because he was a liar, and so he never admitted it, but then sometimes he did. It's kind of weird, but again, very, very interesting book, and I would highly recommend it if you like nonfiction, and even if you don't, if you want to try it, because it's very easy to get through. But anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Please tell me if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, or what books you've read recently, as I would love to know. But that's all for me. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Dream I know, deep up my feelings.